It's a process. This is basically what it is. Obey. I guess I could say that. And I really have a problem because of compromising, because coping with around people, around the house, loving McDonald's, loving the French fries at McDonald's, loving red velvet. Let me keep it real. But I find myself keep on going back to these ways, but I'm really trying to cleanse my body, and get the temple together. And then this is what I believe for me in my work and my relationship about being a better servant. That by making, not only just talk about change, but actually living the change.
Yes.
And to know that I have a reference here. And I also know that they say in the New Testament, it talks about how we can bless the food, and how Jesus blessed the food, and how he fulfilled all the Old Testament, and by praying, it's gonna make things better and stuff. I know that be true. But I don't want to be. I want to try to have. Well, let me see what else I got written here. I guess I'm trying to say is that Socrates, he wrote something about the food you take in should be how you live or something. I don't remember the quote, but he was talking about the food that you should live your food. And I can't remember, I can put it in the words what it was. I should have wrote the quote down. But I'm just trying to think that we can take care of ourselves by what the Lord has really given us to eat and do those things. And I know that we lived a lot of that. And I know that when we was at another church, it's like we used to always have function, and all the time at the end of the function, we had food. And we had food, and we always had chicken. And we always had just food at the end, no matter what time of night. I know that we went a couple times since I've been here, we went over to on Vancouver. Bethesda. And at the end of the night, at the end of the midnight thing, we sit there and have food. And I remember Brother Frank Martin was sitting there with us, and that's when I was actually making some changes. He questioned me about some changes that I was making in my diet and stuff, and bless Brother Frank, Bishop Frank Martin, today, that he was asking about, because he was having some concerns about his diet and things, if I'm not mistaken. And I just know there's a few other people like that too, and I just think that we as a people have to make some changes. And then we do have that in the scripture that can help us do that, and we just need to believe that. We need to be obeyed and not up on the compromise, and stop defiling, if we could, because we are, in essence, and I know that sometimes we eat for numerous reasons. We eat because of stress. We eat because we like it. That's the real reason why we do it, because we really like to eat the food. But we have to be careful about how much we consume. Again, we talk about how we admire and how we exalt and how much we think highly of our pastor. Our pastor, you make a conscious effort in how you do your thing. I mean, not only you make a conscious effort in teaching us the word, but you also live and you do the things. And I said that those are strong things that we need to take more. We as a people of the church need to take more. Follow after that more so. And I know that if it's left to the outside world and all, that we can just continue to feed ourselves, not on the outside world, in the church too. We just keep on feeding ourselves and saying everything will be all right, but that's not accurate. That's inaccurate information, and we need to really take a look at it, because it's really hurting us a lot. And believe it or not, a lot of they keep coming up with more and more diseases day in and day out. And a lot of us, the only thing I think we do in common is eat. everything that we all got in common is eat. So maybe it is what we put in our mouth. Somebody said, well, that means you need to exercise more. Well, if I understand it, it's not so much about the exercise, it's about how much you put in your mouth. It's not how much you, because it's hard to take it off, but if you put in less, you don't have to worry about
Very true. Very true.
If something is high in, calorie value or something, and you take it in 2 times the amount, I know I'm guilty. Okay? But I'm trying to change. And I'm trying to stop compromising and stop trying to find other reasons for doing it. And I thought that maybe looking at this Daniel, book of Daniel here, talking about Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was be a good. It's a good place to look and start, and maybe even stay. Because they were after. I mean, they got not only did they get. They use the term fatter here, fatter and what did they say? Fatter and better than the rest. Fatter and better than the rest. All right, okay. Now I'm trying to say we're getting better, but they say fatter and better. I'm not sure if that fatter in that word, in that term, does that really mean as in, fat, or does it mean just like in
prosperous?
Huh?
Like prosperous.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because sometimes when you use the word, sometimes the words in the Bible are not the exact same term or not the term definition that we use outside the Bible.
That's true.
So, but somebody's going to scroll it real quick here. I appreciate that. Thank you. But the whole thing is that if we want to get better, we are. This is our temple. This is our temple, and this is God's temple. And we want to be able to do as much as we can for Him. And we just can't keep on just consuming just tons of the wrong thing. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm slamming nobody, but actually I started off by slamming me. And that's what I'm going to kind of stay at. Daniel requests to obtain from the king's food and drink. The king had requested, the king had said, okay, you bring these folks in, we're going to get them, put them on a 3-year regimen, and we're going to teach them, give them all this language and teach them because we want them to be able to work for us. And I'm kind of paraphrasing. So, but Daniel says, well, we got part of that, but we're not so sure we want to do all of this, the food, the finest food, it says, the finest food, king's finest food. All I know is that I put down here that McDonald's has over 1 billion. There's over 1 billion McDonald's out there. Huh? And it's been doing nothing but damage.
That's right.
It's been doing nothing but damage.
Okay, according to a couple of translations, one of them says that they were more robust instead of fatter, and this one says Daniel and his 3 friends looked healthier and better nourished.
Better nourished, yes. Yeah, I have that here, better nourished, but the word they say fatter. The Bible says fatter.
Well, when people but they were under siege for a long time, so they would have been all skinny.
Skinny, there you go, yeah.
And malnourished, and now they're better nourished.
That's exactly, that's what they were, because the captives, the Judea, Judah, I said Judea, that's 2 different places. Judah, yes, thank you. I'll get it right. Let's stick around, huh? Okay, so, and like I said, the death toll is just unexplainable. Then I got this other thing here. Here's really interesting. There was the Germans, they took over the Netherlands for 4 years in the 40s, 1946. And the sad part was the people, because they invaded, they were fighting over here, Hitler now went in, and they were fighting over here, and then, but I want to pepper this piece right here, this is really important, that the people there that they took over to prepare to do the fight, they took all their meat, they took all the cheese, they took all the eggs, they took all the chicken, they took all the food. And the people, they were fussing, they were complaining, they got mad, they got angry, they got very angry. But check out what happened.